Alright, so I'm gonna be breaking down a couple of trades that I took last night that I'm currently in, a couple positions that I'm in right now. And as you can see, they're both involving the Australian dollar. I'm currently in trades on AUDUSD and GBPAUD. And that's obviously them being in confluence. Both of these trades are in correlation with each other because I'm basically betting that the Australian dollar will get stronger. When you're taking AUD/USD longs, that means the Australian dollar is getting stronger while the US dollar is getting weaker. When you're taking GBP/AUD shorts, that means the pound is getting weaker and the Australian dollar is getting stronger. So I say all that to say the trades that I'm taking are in confluence with each other. So that's why I took both the trades, obviously. So starting off with AUD/USD, as you can see on the weekly time frame, we're trading above the EMA that I have set off right here. If you want me to do a breakdown on my EMA, just let me know. But we're trading above the EMA that I have set. The last couple of weeks, you can see that we've been bullish, right? And also, the US dollar is getting extremely weak. And we're cutting rates this week. So let me see. Wednesday, they're cutting rates, right? So that all led to me taking these longs. This was the first trade I took and I sent out. I also, and I'm going all over the place. I also sent it out to the Signal group at 8:49 last night. So, boom. On the daily time frame, as you can see, we're in an overall uptrend, but the last few days, or not even few days, because this started in September. But since the start of September 17th, we were in a downtrend. Once we hit this level down here, we started consolidating. All right, cool. So with consolidation, that just means prices at an equilibrium and you don't really want to be involved. But what you can wait for is a breakout of one of these areas. So if it broke out to the downside, I would most likely be looking for shorts. But in this case, it broke out to the upside, right? So boom, we go to the 4-hour time frame. Once we broke out of this consolidation range, we started trading above the EMA that I have set off right here. It's not much I could go off besides like consolidating, broke out the consolidation range. Go down to the lower time frame, being on 1 hour. We're in an uptrend. If you can hear my dog snoring, I apologize. We're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend, trading above the EMA that I have set off. So once we broke above this level, I was looking for price to come back and retest this previous week high, right? Previous levels of where price stopped and start can be used as levels of interest where buyers and sellers want to, take their positions. So once we broke above this level, breaking out of the consolidation range, like I mentioned, I was looking for a retest of this previous week high, right? And once we got that and got a price action signal, I was taking it up. So that's essentially what we did. We had this bullish engulfing. So after we had this, I was waiting for a price to come back a little bit before I got in, which it did, obviously. So at the little bearish engulfing, came back, making like higher high, higher low. I mean, I don't want to go too in depth on it, but basically, price after making that 30-minute bullish engulfing came back. Then we had an inside bar on the 5-minute time frame, and that was my entry. Got in, boom. Put my stops below this level because if price, come back down to this level and go below this level, like lower than this level, then I'm most likely wrong. I want to get out as soon as possible. So put my stops right here for 11 pips stop loss. And yeah, when I got in, I was immediately in drawdown. Like all this time, came back down to retest this previous week high, retested it perfectly, and then just continued to go up. Once it hit like my TP1, once it made this higher high and made a higher low at my TP1, that's when I put my stop loss in profit, so I wouldn't, it's a risk-free trade. I realistically can't lose money on this trade, so I put my stops right here in profit. So yeah, that's AUD USD. GBP AUD is a lot of the same. Starting off on a weekly time frame, there's not much to really go off of besides we're in an overall uptrend and we're trading above the EMA, which is, but what I do see is this level of interest, which is the previous year high, right? Previous year high and previous month low. So last week we had this full bearish candle. So, I'm going off of momentum of last week to continue selling. Basically, is what I'm looking at on a weekly time frame. Go to the daily time frame. The previous week has just been bearish, as you saw. So the daily is just a more detailed look at that. So we're making lower lows and lower highs on the daily time frame, trading below this EMA. 4-hour time frame, overall downtrend like we saw, trading below this EMA. 1-hour time frame, same thing. So this was when market opened up. So I was initially looking for a retest of this level being the previous week low, and potentially it wasn't gonna reach. So basically just a retest of this previous week low to head down. It obviously didn't get there. So I'm looking for the first bearish candle. So I know price isn't gonna always reject from specific levels. So I'm looking for the first, indication that we're probably gonna start hitting lower, being this bearish candle right here. It's whatever. I saw this bearish candle, so I'm going to lower time frames to look for a potential entry. I think I waited till 9 o'clock. So this 9 o'clock, no, I didn't. I don't remember how I entered this trade. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember, but I did enter it, obviously. Got in right here. Put my stops below or above the previous week high, because if it, starts continuing up after I entered and go higher, I'm most likely wrong. I want to cut my loss as soon as possible. But yeah, and I'm targeting the previous year high and a psychological number, I think. Profit level, basically a psychological number, being 2.03000. But I'm gonna get out before that, a little before that. And I haven't moved my stop loss yet, but I can. I'm probably gonna do this as soon as I get off the video. Put my stop loss right here and profit, where I realistically won't lose money at all if it decides to reverse on me. But yeah, that's pretty much it on these trades. I'll break down how I got out, if it hit my take profit or I manually closed. But that's pretty much it for this video, or for this segment. So I'm doing an update on AUD and GBPAUD. So starting off on AUD, I think we were around here last time I updated. No, we were probably around here, but it took forever for price to get to my final take profit. Price kept wicking above the previous day high, and then eventually we got there, obviously. Nice 1 to 2.5 risk to reward, and then we have GBPAUD. I actually got stopped out at break even. I put my stop loss in profit around this 2.03800 level. When price was trading around here below my TP1, that's when I decided to move my stop loss to break even. Price came all the way back up, stopped me out, then immediately went down. So I was waiting in this trade for forever, and then it stopped me out, and then the next 3 hours it hit my final take profit. And shit like that is annoying, but it's unavoidable. Unless you don't move your stops to break even. But shit like that is annoying, but it's part of the game. But yeah, this would have been a nice 1 to 2.3 risk to reward. Some of the people in my group, they still capitalized on this trade because they didn't move their stop loss. So I won on this trade, break even on this trade. So it's basically like I never even took this trade. But yeah, cool little breakdown. Then I'm currently in Euro AUD trades. This bitch going crazy. I love it. But yeah, I'm gonna break this down in a whole separate video.